All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again. Got myself, Ramon Wilson. Got my brother Ricardo Hamilton in here. We bring you another edition of the In the Know Finance Show. We're going to talk about some things that have happened since our last Facebook Live. So we appreciate everybody. Make sure you share, like, comment. We want to interact with you. But we've seen some things since the last time we had our actual last Facebook Live that has not only happened in the financial sector, but in the political sector. And, for those of you that are a part of Karatbars International, some big and major announcement, big things have happened. And we definitely want to keep you guys informed. So without further ado, let's send it over to my boy Ricardo Hamilton, man. So what's been going on, brother? Talk to the people out there.
Man, I can't complain, man. Everything is going according to plan. I'm saying the system is up and running, and I'm excited, man. I'm ready to bring some of this information and news that we got for the people today.
No doubt. So I see we got some of our wealth builders worldwide, Team Freedom, Syntex, Gold Elites in the building. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. So I got some things written down here, brother, and I know a lot of people say we ruffle feathers when we get kind of into politics and to economics and basically just waking up to sleep. But you know me, man. This is freedom of speech. I'm going to leverage technology and social media to get the word out to the masses because some things that we're going to talk about is definitely impacting not only the country and the world, but the most important thing is that some of these issues we're going to talk about is impacting our personal economy, meaning our economy inside our homes, which I feel is the most important economy, because if you don't fix the things within your four walls and the confines of your own home, it's going to be a way different animal once you get outside of your own home. So I definitely want to talk about the first thing that happened. And I want some of your insight on this, on what do you think could happen? And again, this is just our opinions, but I would like for you to actually give us some actual factual things that happened leading up to this issue. And as you know, Wells Fargo was a so-called blackout. And this is one of the biggest financial institutions in the United States. They're one of the top 500 in the S&P 500. And it's kind of ironic this happened right after the State of the Union address. And we're going to talk about the State of the Union address. But it's kind of funny how this happened right after the State of the Union address and how it's still going on. And you have major companies like Wells Fargo, AT&T, and some of the other top, I'm going to say top 50 companies in the S&P 500 that are having this issue. And my question, and a lot of questions that people have asked me, is this something that, America should be afraid of? Or is this just a test of what's about to come? What's your take on that, bro?
Yeah, that's the thing about when these incidences come up, it should be an eye opener. It should make you question and wonder what are the possibilities that can happen. And when I hear that, I think about what happened in Cyprus during the last financial crisis. Cyprus, people were unable to pull out money from their ATMs or go to the bank. They were only able to pull out maybe 60 euros at that time. And so as we start to see this system unwind, there are going to be more incidences of, blackouts or problems with the ATMs, and they're going to blame it on something. And they're always going to try to find some way to redirect it and have you focusing on something else other than the main problem, which is the Federal Reserve's monetary policy and this government's continued lack of financial budgeting. They're going to continue to print money. And so, with Wells Fargo, and, when I heard that before, when I heard about the blackout with Wells Fargo, I thought it was another Bitcoin attack, because I know that there are a lot of companies facing a lot of attacks for their power to actually, mine Bitcoin because of the energy consumption.
Right.
So I thought that was what was the real issue there when it came to Wells Fargo. But it's an eye opener, definitely.
Right. So now it's funny that you said that about the whole the cryptocurrency and the power usage and things of that nature. But before I get to that, let's just talk about the problem at hand with the blackout. Okay, it's funny how an institution that is responsible for so many people's financial holdings, not only in the United States but around the world. Please understand this, ladies and gentlemen. These banks have more than one branch, and they are internationally. So there's a lot tied up into these centralized banking systems. And when you talk about cryptocurrency and what's going on, and this is what I want everyone to wrap their head around. It's ironic that in the same week we had the State of the Union address, we had the actual blackouts that affected not just one financial institution, but multiple financial institutions and other Fortune 500 companies. And then we also had the leak of the actual Bitcoin ETF that may be approved from a reliable source within the SEC. It's funny how all these things are going back to back to back to back, but yet no one is paying attention to this except for those that are awake. I see my boy Terrence Freeman here. He's definitely awake of what's going on in this crypto sector and what's going on as far as the monetary system. But what people need to understand is this is an eye opener right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you listen to the State of the Union address, not one topic in there. Okay, I want you to go back and look. Not one topic in there was addressed about the financial readiness, the financial stability, and the financial sector of the United States and what's going on. It was all based around a distraction. They beat around the bush about a lot of things, and I'm not going to say that they weren't important because, of course, taking care of our veterans, I'm a veteran myself, is very important. You know, the right to abortion and things, all those things are important. I'm not going to say whether I agree or I disagree, but what we have to understand, if we are not prepared for the financial shift and the financial demise of the US dollar and our financial system, how are you going to be able to survive? Let's just think about this for a second. How many people bank with Wells Fargo or attached to a subsidiary bank of Wells Fargo that could not access their currency in a time of need? Imagine if you had the majority of the most popular banks that did that. Would you be able to survive? What would you do? Would you be prepared for a financial blackout, meaning the decentralized banking system? I'm not talking about cryptocurrency because we're not even nowhere near that. But I'm talking about the banks that you rely on to pay your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, your daycare. Everything you do is derived around a fiat monetary system. Would you be prepared? Can you elaborate on that, brother Ricardo?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's one thing that as a responsible adult, we always got to be aware of our surroundings when it comes to our home, you know, our children, our family, our finances. One thing that we cannot control, though, is the financial situation that the world is facing right now with this Federal Reserve and the government's overspending, you know. And so, you know, that's what it comes down to is really thinking about how can you position yourself to not only hedge against potential dangers, you know, with this economy, but how can you come out on top? And so, like you said, brother, during the State of the Union, we saw Donald Trump up there, and they mentioned nothing about the budget, nothing about fixing the financial problems, nothing. It just all flowery stuff. Made you feel really good and optimistic to a certain degree, but there wasn't any indication of you know, where we are going. Well, one thing I did remember hearing him say was, he said, is that we're going to outspend every country. And I said, wow. I just said, wow. They let you know that they're going to just hyperinflate this currency. They're just going to continue to print. And that's why you keep talking about QE, another QE. We're having QE right now, but just in different forms. And so that's why we save in gold. You know, that's why we look for the next alternative, you know, because there's a problem and there has to be a solution. And so we just put ourselves in position with Karatbars by saving our money in gold. That's the solution right there, because gold is money. It always has been, always will be.
Yes, exactly. You know, the State of the Union, I'm kind of going to stay on this a little bit. The State of the Union, it was very informative in a way that it it just spoke volumes at how detached the two parties are. But it also goes back to our financial crisis. It doesn't matter if you haven't figured this out. It doesn't matter who's in office, whether it's a Democrat, whether it's a Republican, whether it's a liberal. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, ladies and gentlemen. The underlying facts is that our nation is built off of debt, and they try to cover up a lie that they could not fix. And it's just like my mother used to say, whenever you tell one lie, you have to tell another one to try to cover up the previous one. And that is what is happening right now. The financial sector is one big lie, from your income tax to inflation to quantitative easing to everything that is pegged to our US dollar. And this is just not in the United States. This is going to be affected globally, because majority of your powerful nations, even some of your third world countries, their currency was based and pegged off of the United States dollar. And this is why, like Brother Ricardo said, the last live that we did, you have these bilateral trade agreements. And if you don't know what a bilateral trade agreement is, it's like this. If you were playing Ring Around the Rosie and you have 6 people, and one person is always messing up the actual Ring Around the Rosie game, the other 5 will come together to figure out a way to exclude that one person that is messing up the actual circle of the Ring Around the Rosie, meaning that the other 5 will do agreements to make sure that that one person will not affect the actual game. So put that in perspective of the actual financial sector right now. What we're having is you're having these power countries like China, Indonesia, these countries that the United States depends on for our vehicles, textiles, natural resources, and other things. They do not want to use our deflating dollar. And so they're going to do agreements amongst each other with their own currency to eliminate having to use a depreciation dollar, which then you have people like our government who get mad and want to take their ball because they can't play anymore, and they put sanctions on these countries, which is creating a actual trade war. The next financial crisis that we see, we will not see a war with troops and soldiers on the ground and in the air and at the sea. No, we will see a digital war against cryptocurrencies. We will see a digital war against trade agreements. If that's what the war will be about having taxation on certain trade agreements, tariffs, and all of this stuff. This will be the future. It all will be based upon the financial sector of the dollar and how we can stop the bleeding. And here in the United States right now, we are bleeding out very bad, very badly. And if we don't wake up and understand that a wall is only not even a 2% of our debt budget on the low end, you need to be worrying about more than a wall right now, because once this crisis comes, it's going to come crashing down 10 times worse than 2008, than 2000, the early 60s, the early 50s. You're going to have, I was looking at some staggering numbers the other day. Mike Maloney showed some numbers. He said the top 1,500, not the S&P 500, the top 1,500 most powerful companies in the United States, a third of them will be wiped out, either going bankrupt or they're going to have to liquidate a lot of their assets to just stay above water. That's a third. So out of 1,500 of the most powerful companies in the United States, 500 of them will be crushed and will be gone. How many people do you know that work for these 500 companies? How many families, how many lives will be affected by our government that is worrying about a $1 and some billion wall, however much it costs, when we have a $20+ trillion deficit, and that's just currency? We're not talking about credit. If you add in there, you're talking $70 trillion in debt that we will never be able to pay back. So, Brother Ricardo, what you said, people just need to wake up, man. And I'm not a financial expert, but I'm also not ignorant and not going to turn my eye to what's going to affect the people that I love and how I survive. People out here worrying about credit scores. That 3-digit credit score is bogus from the front. People say, well, you need a credit score to get things that you like. Well, let me ask you this question. The things that you like, and let's just be real here. We understand that you do need a home. You do need a car. But let me ask you this. If this home that you're financing, if you don't own it, it is a liability. If it's not cash flowing for you, it's a liability. What do you think the actual crash and the actual inflation is going to start to affect? They just said the real estate market is the first one that's going to hit. So your $1,000 a month mortgage now turns to $1,500 to $1,800. Okay. How would an additional $500 or $600 going into your budget affect you right now when the average person don't even have $1,000 that they can touch in the savings account? That car payment, it's interest. Anything that is pegged to the United States dollar will be affected. So that's what people need to wake up and understand. Go ahead, Brother Ricardo. I know you got something to say.
Yeah, definitely. You know, a lot of people, when I think about these banks, you know, and we're talking about Wells Fargo today, especially because of the blackout. But I wanted to read some information, you know, on the derivatives market, because that's one thing that, you know, is the big elephant in the room. You know, the biggest thing that nobody talks about. They might talk about a stock market crash, or they'll talk about, you know, interest rates policy, but they never hear them talk about derivatives. And I'm just going to read some here. It says,
"Oh my God, I said 70 trillion. My bad. We didn't even talk about the derivatives. My bad."
Wells Fargo has a derivative exposure of $3.332 trillion. It's a too big to fail bank. Wells Fargo has been charged for its role in allegedly pursuing illegal foreclosures and deceptive loan servicing. Wells Fargo has just been slapped with an $85 million fine by the Federal Reserve for putting good credit borrowers into bad credit rating, high rate loans. You know, Wells Fargo, when they acquired Wachovia Bank, they had to pay a $110 million fine for allowing transactions connected to drug smuggling, and a $50 million fine for failing to monitor cash used to ship 22 tons of cocaine. It's also failed to monitor $387 billion worth of transactions to Mexican cartels. I mean, these banks are criminal, and you know, they're too big to fail, and they're flooded the world with debt, and they're playing with people's lives like it's a casino. I mean, Wells Fargo paid no taxes, and I'm reading this from the year 2008 to 2010, and had a negative tax rate of 1.4 while making $49 billion in profit at the same time. So, I mean, the banks are really the public enemy number one. It's really that simple. The Federal Reserve and this banking empire that's set up right now is really public enemy number one. And when you go and you do your research and you see all the scandals from these banks, creating fake accounts, overcharging people on fees, I mean, it's a crime. It's a crime. And so the thing that, you know, the best thing that people can do is at least wake up to that, you know, that these big banks and you know, they don't care about you. These Federal Reserve, they don't care about you. They really don't care about the people. And so you have to think for yourself, and you have to, you know, really analyze the financial situation that we're in when we're dealing with their money. The United States Federal Reserve note is a note. It's theirs, and it's an instrument of debt. So it's, you know, that's why we're saving gold. That's why Karatbars International is so powerful, because it just gives us the ability to opt out. You know, if you're fed up, if you're tired of the system, if you know it's not working, if you can see that there are problems, and you know you want to know, well, what can you do about it? Karatbars International provides that solution, because we're able to opt out of this system of debt, this system of fiat currency, and we're able to opt into a system of sound money, of real money, of God's money, of gold, and a payment system in gold on the blockchain that everybody can trust and that's verifiable. And so that's where the world is moving towards right now. I mean, banks themselves are trying to create their own cryptocurrencies and accept cryptocurrencies and all kind of things. So, you know, it's just being aware of the time and what must be done. That's it. And Karatbars is the perfect company to put yourself in position with that. And like you always say, Brother Ramon, it's free. There's no reason nobody should not be in Karatbars International, especially if it's free to sign up. And you can start saving in gold with a free savings account in gold right now.
Exactly. Let me touch on something right there. You know, a lot of people, and I don't want to say I want to be biased, but a lot of people look at something like Karatbars because it has a it's pegged and it has some a sort of a multi-level marketing feel to it, which it isn't. It's an e-commerce company. Okay, so let's put that out there. And you know, a lot of people's communication barrier goes up and they don't look at the big picture. If you understand that we have the power within Karatbars International to pretty much eliminate all of the trash and the bogusness of the financial sector by acquiring an asset that has been around way longer than me, will be around way longer after me, and you can get it in small increments. So if you have a job, we're not telling you to put all your money into gold. No, we're not telling you to put all your money in a cryptocurrency that is backed by physical gold, not a contract of gold. We own the gold mines. We own the banks. Okay? We're not telling you to take your money and put it into the stock market where it is up for target practice pretty much. Okay? We are telling you that if you're not prepared and have something that you can leverage and lean on in a time of emergency, okay, the writing is on the walls, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much clearer we have to talk about this subject, okay? If you don't see, I don't care if you're on the West Coast, the down south, the East Coast, up north, everywhere you go, there is something right now in your community that is affected by over leveraging a fiat monetary system, quantitative easing, and a party of politicians that refuse to step up to the plate and say enough is enough. This is not what our nation stands for, and it's definitely not the way that we need to go about this, by putting this burden on the average working American citizen. Because let's be honest, the only two classes you have in this world, you have the wealthy and you have everybody else. The middle, it used to be the middle class. They have been demolished. It is now, they are the lower class, because everything that is happening in the United States, okay, is affecting those individuals that are not prepared, that 1%. The other 99% are being slaughtered. And they're being slaughtered in ways that it's not even right. It's not even fair. Okay? It's not even fair. You have people that I mean, their life savings. Their life savings. This is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. The American dream is gone, ladies and gentlemen. The average person that wants to go out here and create their own business has to fight with the same institution that is digging in their pockets and taking their own wealth from them. So Karatbars International is the fire extinguisher for this massive fire right now. Whether you want to believe it or not, cryptocurrency is a part of that. Because again, it is decentralized and it eliminates the third-party intervention. When you don't have institutionalized money that can manipulate politicians, rules, regulations, laws, bills, okay? You can't just print stuff out of thin air and say, poof, here's $1 trillion, and then put that burden back on the same people that are working and paying taxes on a lie. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Karatbars International, like I said today, Karatbars International is the plague of wealth. Anything that it touches, they become wealthy instantly. It's a plague. Once you get a hold of it, it just spreads. And the world don't see this coming yet. So if you're not in front of this curve and you're not protecting your hard-earned currency, you will be in a very, very dark and hard place for a long time to come. Because once this crash comes, I don't even want to call it a crash. It's going to be worse than a crash, because we've told this lie since 2008, which the lie was told prior to that from 1980. So you're looking at a good, 40 some years worth of lie. It's going to take double that, okay, to just get us back on track. So if you're not preparing now and you're just going to wait and sit on the fence and be like, oh, I want to see, no, it's gonna be too late. Anything that you thought about saving in the bank, it can happen. It can happen. They can say, hey, that 100,000 you got in the bank, you can't get it out. We are in a national crisis right now. It can happen. Read the fine print on the FDIC. Read that. Look into the laws. Karatbars International eliminates all of that. All of that. There is no investing. You are purchasing, okay, an asset that protects you from that. So that's the power of what we have. So the next time that someone brings you some information that can help you financially and to protect the hard-earned currency that you have, don't call it a scam. Look at your paycheck. You know, that part in the middle that says FICA, Social Security, all of that. Make sure that you tell them that they're the scam, because they're robbing you of your financial freedom and your prosperity.
Facts.
What you got to say about that, brother?
No, I mean, you broke it down. I mean, it's facts. I mean, it really comes down to education, you know, and miseducation. And, you know, Thomas Jefferson, you know, one of the founding fathers of this country, said, if the American people ever allowed a private bank to control the issue of their money, first by inflation and then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of their property until their children will wake up homeless on the continent that their fathers had conquered. And so when it comes down to understanding the time that we're in, history repeats itself. This is not the first time that we've had a central bank. This is not the first time in history where we know what happens to a fiat currency. And when you have, you know, massive money printing and no budget, no kind of, you know, discipline when it comes to how the economy is being run. And so, you know, that lack of education and understanding how this money system came about and what the central bank is and where we're going, because people, like you said, brother, the writing's on the wall. Once you put all the pieces together to this puzzle, you can kind of see where it's going. And when you see where it's going, it's sort of in the latter part of Thomas Jefferson's quote, where, you know, people's children will wake up homeless, you know, and that's what's happening. I mean, in 2008, people lost their homes. People lost their jobs. People lost half of their savings and, you know, that they were relying on for the future. And sure, it came back, but you can never get that time back. And this next crisis that hits, the Federal Reserve has already came out and said that they don't have any more tools, you know, to stop it or fix it. And so they've already said now pretty much that they're no longer going to they're going to stop increasing interest rates. They're probably going to have to reduce the interest rates back down. They're going to have to print more money. I mean, so it just comes down to, you know, what are you going to do about it? You know,
right.
What are your
that's a I'm glad you said that, because Jeremy Gold just asked, he said, what can the average person do?
Yeah, the average person, what you can do is figure out how to acquire gold, silver. Obviously, you can get that with Karatbars International. But I mean, it's really coming down to, first, you got to understand the problem. Once you understand the problem, the solutions will come to you. You know, and that's why we're on here talking about Karatbars, because Karatbars, to me, is the main solution for the average everyday person, no matter where you are in life. Because this company puts you in position to acquire an asset and make additional income at the same time, while protecting yourself from future financial crisis. So this is not no soap. This ain't no lotion. This ain't no potion. We actually have a real solution to the problems of the world, and we're able to put you in position to, you know, not have to worry on one job, because most people are relying on one source of income. And if when this economy goes down, a lot of jobs are going to be lost. And so nobody's job is safe. And so one thing about Karatbars is you have the ability to create an additional income for yourself working from home by simply showing people how to save their money properly. How do you properly save your money? You save it in an asset that will retain its value and outpace inflation and put you in a position to increase your net worth. That's how you properly save. But they told us to open up a savings account. They told us to, you know, get a CD. They kept us in paper, while the whole time that they were buying gold and they saving and investing in gold. and experiencing, you know, massive gains while people getting less than 1% on their savings account.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, yeah.
I mean, you know, Jeremy's asking safer than an IRA or a company. IRAs, that is a smoking mirror, the sleight of hand. Let me tell you something. Brother Donovan Yarborough had made a post and he did the numbers. The average IRA, okay, is losing about 2.5% per year. So let's just say you had it for 5 years, okay? You're losing an average from inflation. We're not even talking about the feds once they get their taxes out of it. We're just talking about quantitative easing and inflation of the actual US dollar. You are losing an average of 2.5% per year on the money that you are looking to have when you retire. This isn't something I've made up. This is facts. You are losing an average of 2.5%, okay, that you're paying into every week, every month, however you're paying into your 401k or these IRAs. Karatbars International has a system where you can have a gold IRA. You can pay as every week you get paid, you should be paying yourself. If it's 5%, 10%, whatever it is, you should be purchasing some gold and stacking it. Okay? That's what you should be doing. Because I promise you, my team, we have already did a study. What we're doing, we started on January 1st, 2019. I gave the challenge to everybody on our team. I said, look, I don't care how much you can save. I don't care how much you put in it. But we're going to see how much we save from January 1st, 2019 to December 31st, 2019. How much gold we can save. And I don't care if it's $5 or $5 million. And we're going to keep track of it. We haven't even been 45 days into the year 2019, and we have already saved over 15.5 grams. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but when I asked my team, I said, hey, this is how much they save. You know what all of them said to me? They said, Ramon, I didn't even know that I was saving it because it was on auto save. They didn't even miss the currency. So if we did that in 45 days, you can just add up 365 days. How much that's going to be that each one of those people on my team have now protected their financial economy within their household. That's how powerful this is. Because I guarantee you, if you put that same amount, that $1,070.60 some cents is what 15.5 grams comes out to in US dollars. If you was to put that in a bank account or underneath your mattress, I promise you it wouldn't be nowhere near what you would have at the end of this year, let alone 5 years when you're losing 2.5% on a 401k in these IRAs, which again can be manipulated and are affected because they're pegged to the US dollar. Do y'all understand what I'm saying there? That's as powerful. And we have a vehicle here at Karatbars International where it's all full voluntary. You don't have to build a team. People are like, well, I don't want to be part of that MLM. Get educated. It's free. While you're talking about something that you know nothing about, I'd rather you be on the inside talking about it than be on the outside looking in. You don't know what this wealth machine can do on the outside. It's free. I'm not asking anybody to do anything. They have the option to save. They have the option to build a network of gold builders. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is we are a save first company, protecting your hard-earned money. Maybe I'm overboard with this, Brother Ricardo. Am I overboard with this?
No, I mean, the one thing that you have to consider is the purchasing power of your U.S. currency. You will never be able to outpace the printing press of the Federal Reserve and therefore inflation. And you can never predict which direction they're going to go, what policy, when the next crisis will come, and how much they're going to spend, and how much that's going to devalue the currency. You know, it's like life insurance. You know, I have my little life insurance policy worth $100,000, but I don't know the purchasing power of that $100,000 10, 20, 30 years from now. So for me, that's not really something that I can rely on, because I'd rather take them premiums, $50 a month or whatever I'm paying you, and put that in gold, because I know for a fact that gold will keep up and outpace inflation. I know that gold will maintain its purchasing power. I know that gold will always be an asset. I know that gold will be accepted all around the world, no matter what. Even right now, while some countries around the world are no longer accepting the dollar and are trying to get away from doing trade with the dollar, I know that that gold will have value. It's just very strategic. It just makes sense, you know. So that's the beauty of hedging. That's the beauty of understanding the power of gold. Gold is money all around the world. Well, soon, a lot of countries around the world won't take dollars. They don't want it because it's backed by nothing. It's a piece of paper that they just continue to print up, and they're going to.
It's exactly what it is. Call it what it is, Brother Ricardo. It's a debt note. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I mean, let's keep it 100 here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the dollar bill is exactly what it is. It's a debt note, and there's interest due on every note in circulation in the world. There is interest due on every note. All right, the so-called base money, that's just in the United States. There is an interest payment due on each piece of currency that is floating around in the United States of America. We're not even going to talk about in the world. And it's all based off of a bluff, a lie, and deception. That's what it is. I want to touch back on the credit, and I'm not here to bash the credit industry, but let me ask you something again, ladies and gentlemen. What can a 700, 800 credit score do for you when you're dead and gone, or your family, besides put you in more debt? Because let's be honest here, most people don't use credit for what it's supposed to be. Meaning there is a way that you can use credit and leverage it if you're using it for a great cause, meaning you're using it to produce a income and asset, meaning real estate, or heck, let's just be honest, a profit pack. That is the way that you use credit. But to get credit to go out here and get a home, okay, that you're not probably going to keep for 30 years with a annual, annual interest rate of, 5 to 6%, which is going to climb as quantitative easing comes in. Okay, if you don't own that home, it is a liability. Yes, you need a place to live, but it is a liability, ladies and gentlemen. And the first 5 to 7 years, the banks is how they dupe you. These mortgage lenders, how they dupe you is they come to you. Oh, Mr. Hamilton, you've been paying great for the past 7 years. We're gonna lower your interest rate to 2.1%. Go ahead and refinance, and now you add on additional time to that debt. That's what they do to you. It's no different than with a car. Trade it in so they can add that fiat currency amount to the actual loan for the new car that you just traded in. That lost depreciation as soon as you pulled it off the lot. But I've never heard anyone say, hey, I never heard anyone say this, Brother Ricardo. Hey, this gold didn't help me lose weight. It tastes funny, or it smelled funny, or it gave me a rash. I want a refund. I've never heard someone tell me that they wanted a refund on gold, ever. But I do see nations and people, I don't want that dollar. Or they're smart enough to exchange the paper currency that you have in your wallet, your pocketbook, your bank account, and to exchange it for some of this right here. That's the difference between being woke and understanding what's going on in this world. They're going to keep talking about the wall. They're going to keep talking about everything but the actual elephant in the room. This economy is about to go under, ladies and gentlemen. If we're spending more to print money than we are on healthcare and things that matter in this nation, that should be an indicator that something's not right. The nation's priorities are very, very, very well jacked up. I will tell you that, but it's okay. There is hope. There is hope. Okay. There's a website right now that just came up on this screen. Doesn't cost you nothing but the click of a mouse and the typing of that website right there. And go check out that information for yourself. Stop being a Google expert and listening to all of these so-called people that think they know what they're talking about. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know unless you're on the inside. I would never talk about another man or woman's household if I never lived in their household. So how are you going to talk about Mr. Harold Sykes and his household and you're not even in his household? Y'all need to stop that. You need to stop that. Open your eyes. Because I'm telling you, you're going to wake up and you're going to go to swipe that debit card for whatever reason that you need to swipe that debit card, and it's going to say, hey, we can't do nothing for you. Then what are you going to do? You're going to be searching for these YouTube videos to find that therealmoney.info.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you. What you got, brother Ricardo?
Yeah, no, you hit it on the head. I mean, all we're really trying to do is just bring awareness, because obviously we can see that there's a problem going on. Obviously we can see that, you know, we need a solution, and so now it's just, what is that solution, and how can we benefit from it? How can we take our depreciating money? How can we take this dollar, and how can we put it in an asset that secures our financial future and builds wealth for us? And that's gold. And so it just so happens that Karatbars International is actually the best way to get gold, because you can start saving in gold for as little as $5. I mean, I don't know any company where I can start saving in gold for $5 right now. You know, and like you said, to be able to set that up on autosave to where it's coming out your account and you're not even feeling it, because you just got it set up every week. The same way that car insurance is going to hit your account, or you got that phone bill on autosave. It should be just as important that you got yourself saving in some gold every single month or week on autosave, because that's called pay yourself first. How you gonna pay everybody else and make sure they got something and you ain't got something for yourself? Especially something that can protect you.
Hey, Ricardo, tell him again. How you gonna do what, bro? How you gonna do? No, hit that home. Hit that home, bro. Say it again, bro. Yeah. What you said?
I mean, look, how you gonna pay somebody else and you ain't pay yourself? How you gonna make sure that everybody else good? Sprint, Verizon, you know, whoever, your State Farm and everybody else, you're gonna make sure they good, but you're not gonna make sure you good. So, you know, put yourself on autosave. Save your money in gold so you can build wealth for yourself and protect yourself from the financial crisis, because guess what? The government has a continuity of government. The government has a plan. FEMA and they're already in place. They're ready for the financial meltdown that's going to happen. They already got a lot of food and water in store. A lot of people are making preparations. And so now it comes down to those who know better, do better. So now this is, you know, you can't say you haven't been warned. You can't say the information never came to you. You know, in worst case scenario, let's say we're 100% wrong, brother. Let's say the economy is fine like Trump says it is. And let's say the Federal Reserve got everything under control and we got gold. I mean, either way, you don't lose, because no matter which way the economy goes, you know, you still have an asset that you can be able to, you know, liquidate if you need to. You know, I mean, so that's the beauty of gold. You don't lose. You actually have something that's going to be good in good times and great in bad times.
And check this out, man. I had to school a young man the other day. You know, he asked me, you know, he said, okay, so I hear everything you're saying, but you know, what if I need to sell my gold? I said, well, first of all, you never sell your asset. You never, ever, 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 ever sell your asset, meaning your gold. I said, what you can do is, let's say you're sitting on, let's say, you know, your hot water heater or something goes out. You need $3,000. You're sitting on a couple ounces of gold. You can take that gold down to your bank and you can take out a loan with your gold. So basically, you can leverage your gold, get the fiat currency that you need to fix your hot water heater, pay back that, and get your gold back. Oh, and by the way, 9 times out of 10, that gold is going to be worth way more than what you paid back. That's the power of an asset like gold. You can leverage that. You can leverage that gold. Okay? So if you did have an emergency, I'd rather have that type of emergency stashed away than some paper currency that is melting away and controlled by a manipulative system any day. Any day. You leverage your assets. Exactly, Brother Donovan. You leverage your assets. And that's what we teach you, and that's what we do here at Karatbars. We leveraging our assets. People are here leveraging their assets left and right every day. Like I said, Karatbars is the plague of wealth. It's a plague. Once it gets on you, you're done. You're going to be wealthy for you're done. I promise you. And we have people from 18 to 80. So it doesn't matter what age group you are, what your education level is, what your race is, your color, your political background. Once you get into this ecosystem and this wealth building system is the plague, you're hooked for the rest of your life, because you won't look at the monetary system and paper currency. You'll look at it totally different. When you out there spending currency on things that really you don't need, you're going to think about it. Man, that's $180. Man, that's X amount of grams of gold I could have right now. You're going to look at it totally different. Totally different. Because I know I have. I was just like the average person out there. Was very financially illiterate. But it took for me for a significant life event to happen to me to understand that I have to be protected. I have to be protected, and I have to protect my hard-earned currency, because the powers that be do not have my best interest at heart. They do not have the best interest at heart. That is why one man with one vision, Mr. Harold Sight, said, I'm going to make this asset available to the masses at a very affordable rate, small increments. And that goes for cryptocurrency. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy a fractional amount of it. You don't have to buy a full brick of gold. You can buy it in the physical essence, as small as 1/10 of a gram, all the way down to 2 cents of a KBC. That's the power of this. So Karatbars has a buffet for any age or any financial bag. We got a buffet of whatever you need, whatever you need. And if you're a business owner, we ain't forgot about y'all. You can accept gold, fiat, cryptocurrency. So now your investment of your small business is protected. That's the power of the Karatbars universe and our ecosystem. You now have options. Like Brother Ricardo said, you have an option to opt out of the system of debt. No, I don't want to be a part of it. People say, well, you can't escape capitalism. Well, to an extent, but you know what? I have protection against anything that they throw at me. That's the power of Karatbars International and what we have. And like I said, the company here is not on trial. The company here is not on trial. What's on trial is your home and your economic situation. Only you can look in the mirror and say, am I really good? Am I really good? That's what's on trial. It's not the company, because 600-some thousand people and growing can't be lying. You feel me? Brother Ricardo know what this is about. Brother Donovan Yarbrough know what it's about. Team Wealth Builders Worldwide know what it's about. The Union know what it's about. Team Freedom know what it's about. Syntax Gold Elites know what it's about. Cashflow Syndicate knows what it's about. So, hey, the company's not on trial here. There's nothing to really go Google. They're really not. There's nothing to go. There's nothing to investigate. Your financial situation is probably like 95% of the rest of the people in this nation right now. And that's okay. We're just letting you know that you have options. You have an option to opt out of this system of debt. It's up to you if you want to do it. What you got, Brother Ricardo?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of it is that it's not contract gold. This not no piece of paper saying you own gold. You know, this is actual physical gold. You know, I mean, when you buying gold through these other places, you got a contract or an ETF or something. You know, they loaned out that same ounce of gold to 100 other people. So they got 1,000 people all trying to lay claim to 1 ounce of gold. And when come time when you need it, try to get it for delivery, it ain't gonna be there for you because ain't that much gold in the COMEX. I mean, so the thing is that the beauty of Karatbars is it puts gold back in your hands. You know, the company they'll store the gold for you for free up to 100 grams. And after 100 grams, they shipping that to your house. You're responsible for your money, but you have it for yourself when you need it. It's not, you don't want to put in no bank, because when a bank holiday come or something happen to the banks and they lock their doors, your money is in a bank. That becomes a bank asset. That becomes part of the government's assets. And so if you got some money in a safe deposit box, or you got something in a safe deposit box, it ain't safe in no safe deposit box. You know, because they'll easily lay claim to that if they need to, if the right crisis presents itself. And trust and believe, all they're waiting for is the right crisis. They're just waiting for the right crisis, because to them, a crisis is an opportunity to do something that they normally couldn't do under general circumstances. And so they're just waiting for something to happen. They might create it themselves. because they know things before we know it. They know what's about to happen. But you think 2008, the American people, they was caught off guard, but you think that the insiders, they didn't know already what was happening and what was going to happen? They knew that, they knew the situation that would unfold with the subprime loans and all this other stuff that they're doing, massive money printing and all this endless wars. They know what it's going to create. But for people who know, they put themselves in position and they hedge and they build wealth. And that's what Karatbars is about, hedging and building wealth, making additional streams of income. That's why Brother Gregory Bell ends. So, I mean, look, you own the gold. That's the best position that you could be in. That's the best position that you could be in. Not no paper.
Exactly. And I just want to, I like to be transparent and keep it real. I'm not here to gauge an individual's financial situation or, basically, read or read people's pockets. But some of us, and I'm just being real, the first thing you come out your mouth with is I can't. You just choose not to. If $170 is stopping you to put you in position to, let me break this down. Karatbars has been around since 2011, right? It's 2019. We're going on 9 years strong. It's people that came into Karatbars way before me in the beginning, quit the actual company, and now that Karatbars has stepped into the cryptocurrency realm, soon to be the telecommunications realm, they have made money and didn't even know it. All because they were in position. In a wealth building system, whether they wanted to build a team or not. The system took care of everything else. It is people right now, I've been heard on calls that said, I looked in my back office after 6 years, and it's people when they went from 300 people to over 3,000, 4,000 people, and they have euros and gold sitting back there. All because they took advantage of a system, a wealth building system that saves first. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? When is Bank of America going to open their doors and say, hey, everybody, we're going to give you a piece of our company? And for everybody that you tell about Bank of America and they open an account and they do business with us, whether it's a mortgage or whatever it is, we're going to pay you a referral commission for that. And everything that we have in here is free. We're not going to charge you to use our facility. We're not going to charge you to use our marketing material. We're not going to charge you for nothing. All we want you is to believe in the actual process and the system. That's all that they're asking at Karatbars International. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know nothing else out there that's like it. I've been looking. Trust me, I have been looking. I've been trying to poke holes through Karatbars ever since I got in December the 7th. I've been trying to poke holes. And every time I try to poke a hole, Mr. Harold Sites brings something else out that I'll be like, he can't do nothing better than this. I haven't even been in 3 months yet. And this man has went from the idea of actual gold-backed cryptocurrency to full nodes. Then the K-phone. Then the Gold Independence Day. Then the mainnet. Then another Gold Independence in 2020. Like, really? Are you serious? And all this is evolved around the idea of bringing gold to the masses and saving. He's not asking for nothing. This is what he's giving his people. He's not asking for anything. He is giving all of this value to the people. Run tell the masses. And once you get a hold of this plague, it's like that's exactly what it is. A plague. It spreads in massive amounts. So you think that 600,000 people or something now? Wait till this 5-year roadmap. We're gonna 20x that. What Uncle G say, Brother Ricardo tax? We're gonna 100x that. I promise you.
Right.
Because as the world and we see what's going on with the monetary system start to deteriorate, as history shows, people get drawn more and more to gold. I promise you that.
Yep.
I promise you that.
Yep.
What you got, brother? You got anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I think we definitely, hit some great points. Unless you want to ask some questions from the actual from the audience out here. I see we got brother Donovan Yarborough on here. That brother, if you don't know, go like him on Facebook. He puts out a wealth of knowledge. Very, very, very intelligent brother, and definitely is another advocate of the financial freedom that's out here. Definitely go check out brother Donovan Yarborough. We got Mr. Gregory McKay on here, another wealth builder, another great leader that we have out there. Mr. McKay is a very, very another up there in the Detroit area up there. Puts out a lot of great content, helps a lot of people. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's about. Karatbars is not just about a company and making money. Yes, of course, that's a perk. But to be honest, the wealth builders worldwide in the community, we are about helping people. I don't know how many people I've helped that's not on my direct team. Because I feel as though if you're taking the effort to secure your financial freedom and protect your hard-earned currency, I'm obligated to help you. I'm obligated to help you. So that's what I love about Karatbars International. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't matter. Brother Ricardo's not on my team, but when he speaks, I knew the man was intelligent. We both were on the same wavelength, and I said I got to link up with this brother because people need to hear this. They do. And it's not for everybody. Karatbars might not be something that's your future, but it sure can finance your future. I promise you that. So if you have dreams and aspirations of being something else outside of Karatbars, Karatbars is the vehicle to finance that. And you can go to sleep at night knowing that your dream is protected by an asset. That's the power of Karatbars International. What you got, brother?
Yeah. Nah, man. It's a powerful session that we gave today, man. I'm happy about it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you always being available for me. I definitely couldn't do this. We definitely couldn't, reach as many people without the help of you, bro. So, I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate all our people out there that tuned in, that shared, liked, and comment. Everybody. I see my boy Tim Scott. We got Delisa Moore, Ronald Harris. I see Mr. James Marshall. What up, brother? We got a lot of our wealth builders team in here. A lot of people that really want to help people, but it's a shame that so many people throw up the communication barrier and are so stuck in the rat race and don't understand that we are not here to take advantage of you. We are here to help you protect what you work so hard for. It's already Saturday. People are looking for next Friday already to get paid. That is a shame. That is a shame if you have not paid yourself first. Like Brother Ricardo said, you pay Time Warner, whatever, all these bills, you got them on auto save and things of that nature, but you don't have your financial well-being on auto save. Pay yourself first, ladies and gentlemen. It goes a long way.
Yep.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the largest wealth transfer in history happening right now. It's moving away from paper money back to real assets and the future of money, which is crypto. And Karatbars International just merged the two, so you're perfectly in position. So that's really what it comes down to. It's just about positioning yourself. You go to school, you get a good education, so you can position yourself with a good job, supposedly, so you can have a good financial future, for you and for your family. So that's the same thing with Karatbars. You're just putting yourself in position to guarantee your financial future with an asset that is treasured and always has been considered money, and that the world is moving towards right now as the old or new medium of exchange. And so now, brother, we killed this session. Definitely look me up on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, we share a lot of information on there. Obviously, Brother Ramon, we got the training on the exchange coming up this Tuesday. This whole ecosystem is powerful, man. It's about to put a lot of people in position to not only change their lives, but change the lives of people around them. They're going to touch so many people they don't even know. That's just the system of Karatbars. That it's a opportunity to just build with people who are looking for freedom, because at the end of the day, that's the underlying common denominator. We all looking for freedom, whether that's financial, time, or location freedom. We want freedom, and Karatbars International is just that perfect vehicle that'll put you in position to actually find true freedom with an asset and a compensation plan and a company that has proven proven itself already and has done it for countless people already. So
exactly.
yeah.
So, you know, again, Brother Donovan said KBC is about to break through 3 cents. Yeah, I actually posted that this morning, Brother Donovan. I actually posted the actual chart that I had marked up last week when it just broke over the 2.5 cent mark. And like I said, there is no reversal in sight. The floor is so far down there that and usually when you have a coin that does that, that creates higher lows like that, and there's no floor like that, that means that is a good indicator that actual coin will be moving in that direction for a long period of time. So again, like I said, there is no reversal in sight. Like, it's not even coming back to retest the 50% mark. So if it's about to hit, Brother Donovan, excuse me, said that it's about to hit 3 cents, that means that the actual the retrace would have to be around $1.40, $1.50, which is about 50% of 3 cent. So I mean of 3 cents. So it had to be like almost 2 cents or below for it to hit a retrace, and it's not even coming back to retest that. So sleep on it if you want. Sleep on it if you want. This will be powerful. This will change the lives of a lot of people. And if you want more information, you can find Brother Ricardo. How can I find you on YouTube, bro?
Yeah, brother. Just type in my name, Ricardo Hamilton, RICARDOHAMILTON, and I should pop right up. But what you were saying about the KBC, man, Harold Sykes already told us it's over 7 billion of them coins already in circulation. I mean, so they ain't listed our information on CoinMarketCap yet, but we done sold a lot of them coins already, and people holding over half of them. I mean, so we're supposed to go on some other exchanges. Once we hit these other major exchanges, and they see that we got our own exchange up, trading gold, major cryptos. I mean, deposit into your Karatbars account. I mean, everything. The banks, the ATM, they see the K phone. By that time that we hit the exchange, I mean, this is truly the best asset on the planet right now. I mean, it's I think as a quote, I'm a roughly say it, but it was, those who have a few of our coins will be rich. Those who have a lot will be, I can't remember the exact quote, but I mean, millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires are going to be created because of their holding this coin. That's really what it comes down to. So if you got a lot of coins, you're looking at billionaire status. You got a few coins, you're looking at millionaire status. You got a couple of coins, you're gonna be wealthy. You're gonna have it's just a guarantee. It's backed by gold. We own the gold mines. That's it. It's a guarantee.
Like I said, Mr. Harold Sykes has taken all of the doubt, all of the risk off of the table, ladies and gentlemen. We own the gold mine that owns the bank, that owns the coin, that owns the ecosystem. That right there. There is no contracts there. There's no middleman in anywhere in our structure. And if you don't believe me, if you want to Google something, Google Karatbars International ecosystem. You can see a full live demonstration of what our ecosystem is and how it all touches everything and it stays inside. You can't say that for 99% of the other coins that are on the coin market cap, not Bitcoin, because again, it's pegged and it's liquidated back to a fiat currency that is governed by the dollar, and 99% of the other ones. Ours is, we can liquidate. We can go to fiat if we want, but we can liquidate into either more coins or gold or cash gold. Yep. So that to me right there is what we call a hybrid. We have a hybrid coin. There is no other coin out there doing that. There will be many that try to duplicate it, but Mr. Harold Sykes has already got us, a couple years ahead of everybody else. So nice. Like Brother Ricardo said, we're fighting a war and we haven't even fired a shot yet. Just imagine when we do start firing our shots. So definitely appreciate you, Brother Ricardo. I don't want to take up more of your time. We appreciate everybody out there for being on this. Again, if you want to find Brother Ricardo, it's his name on YouTube. If you want to find me on YouTube, same as my name. Again, if you're looking for information on what we talked about as far as how you can acquire gold in small increments, the actual website is going across the screen right now, www.therealmoney.info. Get back to the person that shared this live stream with you. Get back to them. Tell them you want more information. You want to sign up for your free gold savings account and take action, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't want it to be giving you this information in vain. We want you to apply it. You know, knowledge is power, but only when it's shared and also when it's actually applied. So definitely get back to the person that shared this live stream with you. I appreciate you again, brother Ricardo Hamilton.
Yeah,
thank you everybody for being on this, and we'll see y'all the next time. Until next time, ow. Shout out to Syntex Gold Elite. Shout out to the Union. Shout out to Cash Flow Syndicate. We out.
All right.
Love y'all.
Peace.